what if the biggest impact of alien contact isn't, spaceships or some crazy technology, but like a total shift in how we see ourselves, our place in the universe?
Yeah, that's a really profound question, I think. It pushes us to think beyond those Hollywood aliens and really grapple with the deeper implications of discovering we're not alone.
Welcome, viewers, to the Quantum Soul. We're diving deep into the intersection of science, spirituality, and the mysteries of existence. And today we're going to be talking about the metaphysical impact of extraterrestrial contact.
We're going to be exploring what the existence of ETs, if proven, might reveal about us as humans, about consciousness, our place in the cosmos, and maybe even the nature of reality itself.
Right, and we've got a lot to cover today. We're drawing from a variety of sources, discussions right here on the Quantum Soul, scientific theories, ancient myths, philosophical ideas, and who says maybe by the end of this deep dive we'll have a whole new perspective on what it means to be human in a universe teeming with possibilities.
Absolutely, and one of the most compelling concepts we've discussed is the idea of an ontological shock. This is an event that basically shakes our understanding of reality, shattering our core beliefs about who we are and where we fit in the grand scheme of things.
Like, imagine the moment we get undeniable proof that we're not alone in the universe. That would definitely be a shock to the system. But hasn't this kind of thing happened before in history?
Absolutely. Think about Copernicus and his discovery that the Earth revolves around the sun, not the other way around. Before Copernicus, everyone believed that Earth was the center of the universe, literally and figuratively. His discovery shifted humanity's place in the cosmos. It was a major ontological shock, and it took generations for the new worldview to be fully accepted.
That's a great point. So we've had these shifts in thinking before, and each time it expanded humanity's understanding of the universe and our place in it. This makes me think about those warnings from people like Stephen Hawking about the potential dangers of contact with a more advanced civilization.
Yeah, Hawking, along with others, expressed concern that a technologically superior alien species might not be so friendly. He drew a comparison to the encounter between Native Americans and Columbus.
It's a chilling thought. It raises so many questions about power dynamics, potential exploitation, and even our survival as a species.
Yeah, but there's another perspective we should consider, one that comes from spiritual traditions and ancient myths.
You mean those stories of encounters with higher beings like God's angels or interdimensional entities?
Exactly. These narratives are found across various cultures, and they often depict encounters with beings that possess greater knowledge or spiritual understanding. Think of the Buddha receiving teachings from devas, or the ancient Gnostics who believe that our physical reality is a projection of a much grander multidimensional existence.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So these stories offer a different framework for understanding contact, one that's not solely focused on technology or power, but on spiritual growth and the expansion of consciousness.
Precisely. It's as if these traditions are already preparing us for the possibility of encountering beings with a different understanding of the universe, beings who might be further along on the evolutionary path.
So instead of assuming a hostile alien invasion, maybe we should consider the possibility that contact could be an opportunity for learning and growth, even spiritual enlightenment. It's a radical shift in perspective, but it makes you wonder if a truly advanced civilization would even be interested in things like war power or material possessions.
It's fascinating to speculate. If a civilization has evolved beyond those basic drive, their motivations might be completely incomprehensible to us. Maybe their values are based on entirely different principles, things like compassion, unity, or the exploration of consciousness itself.
It's almost too much to take in. Maybe we should remind our viewers to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with anyone who might be interested in exploring these mind-blowing ideas with us. Okay, so back to the deep dive. What if these higher beings aren't coming from across vast distances of space, but are already here coexisting with us in dimensions we can't perceive?
This is the interdimensional hypothesis. To grasp this, imagine looking at a piece of paper to a two-dimensional being living on that paper. You'd seem like a god appearing and disappearing at will, defying their understanding of reality. We could be like those flatlanders, two beings existing in dimensions beyond our three-dimensional perception.
Whoa, that's wild. So instead of focusing on distant galaxies, maybe we need to start looking inward, exploring the hidden dimensions within our own consciousness.
Exactly. Theoretical physics suggests that our universe could have many more dimensions than we can perceive. And this idea resonates with those ancient Gnostics who believed that our physical reality is just a shadow of a larger multidimensional existence.
So if these interdimensional beings exist, how might they be interacting with us? And how would contact affect us on a deeper level, like a soul level?
Well, many reports from people who claim to have had contact experiences describe profound psychological and spiritual effects. Things like out-of-body experiences, altered states of consciousness, even telepathic communication.
I know some people might be skeptical of these accounts, but there's actually scientific research that offers some intriguing possibilities.
Right. Consider the work of Michael Persinger, who found that stimulating certain parts of the brain with electromagnetic fields could actually induce mystical experiences. If our current technology can trigger these altered states, imagine what a civilization with advanced knowledge of consciousness could do.
It's mind-boggling. And it all circles back to what we were discussing earlier about spiritual traditions and their emphasis on the untapped potential of the human mind.
Perhaps those traditions are tapping into something real, a deeper connection to a universal consciousness, something that's always been there but that we've forgotten how to access.
It's like we're rediscovering ancient wisdom through the lens of modern science and the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. Maybe contact is the catalyst we need to unlock that potential to expand our consciousness in ways we never thought possible.
It raises a huge question. If we do make contact, how would established religions react? This could be a major turning point for humanity.
Yeah, I can see how this could be both disruptive and transformative. On the one hand, if we discover we're not the only intelligent life in the universe, it challenges some very fundamental beliefs about humanity's unique relationship with the divine.
You're right. Experts like Daniel Sheehan have expressed concern about the potential disruption to established religious institutions and power structures.
But on the other hand, maybe contacts could lead to a more expansive understanding of faith, a recognition that the divine isn't confined to our planet or our species.
That's an interesting point. Some religious traditions seem more open to this possibility than others. The Vatican, for example, has surprised some with its relatively open stance on the possibility of extraterrestrial life. They've even suggested that they could be seen as brothers in Christ.
It's fascinating to see how even those institutions are grappling with these ideas. And let's not forget the ancient texts that describe encounters with beings that could be interpreted as extraterrestrial.
Right? Think of Ezekiel's vision of wheels within wheels in the sky, or the Book of Enoch with its descriptions of angels descending to earth and teaching humanity advanced knowledge.
It makes you wonder if those accounts were based on real experiences, perhaps even contact with beings from other worlds or dimensions.
It's a tantalizing possibility, and it raises a crucial question. Would our faith expand or collapse in the face of a universe teeming with life?
That's something each of us would have to wrestle with individually. And it leads to an even deeper question. What is the nature of the soul in a cosmic context?
What if these extraterrestrials aren't, just physical beings, like something more like vast consciousnesses challenging our very definition of life?
You're really getting us to think outside the box here. Not just little green men, but something far more profound and maybe even incomprehensible to us.
Right. There are accounts from people like Jake Barber who describe encounters with crafts that seem to expand their consciousness. He described this sense of oneness and interconnectedness that goes beyond our normal understanding of reality.
That's really powerful. Encountering something that stretches the very fabric of reality. And it wasn't just about lights in the sky, it was deeply personal. Like he touched something beyond the physical.
His experience kind of reminds me of Rupert Sheldrake's theory of morphic resonance, which suggests that consciousness might not be limited to brains and nervous systems.
So instead of being limited to just brains and nervous systems, it could be like a fundamental property of the universe itself. And these ETs might be manifestations of that universal consciousness in forms we can't even fathom.
It's a mind-boggling concept, but it kind of echoes those ancient cosmologies. The Hindu concept of lokas, for example, describes realms inhabited by beings beyond our perception, beings that exist on different planes of existence.
It's like we're rediscovering ancient wisdom through modern science and the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. Like we've forgotten how to access this vast cosmic consciousness that we're all a part of.
And maybe contact with these beings is an invitation to remember who we truly are. Beings of infinite potential connected to a universe teeming with life and consciousness. This challenges our understanding of what it means to have a soul. Not just an individual soul, but a soul that's part of something much bigger.
This is a lot to take you, but it's incredibly exciting. Maybe the real shock of ET contact isn't their existence, but the realization that we've forgotten how connected we are to everything.
It's like the universe is waiting for us to wake up and remember our place.
And maybe contact is that cosmic alarm clock we need. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What if contact happens tomorrow? Spaceships appear over major cities, or these interdimensional beings decide to just make themselves known. What happens?
Honestly, I think the first stage would be pure chaos. All our institutions, our belief systems, our understanding of reality would be thrown into question.
Like the ultimate Y2K bug, but instead of computers crashing, it's our worldview.
Exactly. But after the initial shock, the fear and confusion, what then? Imagine the possibilities.
Okay, let's try. What does life after contact look like?
Well, for one thing, I think human loneliness would end. We'd know for sure that we're not alone.
It's like we'd finally be welcomed into the cosmic family.
Exactly. And that sense of belonging could have a profound impact on our psychology, our relationship, our whole understanding of our place in the universe wouldn't be about just struggling for survival on this little planet. Our story becomes part of something much bigger.
And who knows what role we might play in that larger cosmic drama.
Right. It's like all bets are off and we can redefine ourselves, our purpose, our destiny.
You make it sound exciting, and I have to admit it is. But let's be real. There's going to be challenges integrating into a galactic community dealing with all the differences. That's not going to be easy.
Of course not. It'd be naive to think contact would be all sunshine and rainbows. There would be conflicts, misunderstandings, probably fear and hostility on both sides.
Especially if those fears about them exploiting us turn out to be true.
It's a valid concern, but I think it's important to remember that contact isn't just about technology or power dynamics, it's about consciousness.
Right, that's what we've been focusing on this whole time. But how does that help us navigate those potential conflicts?
If we approach contact with an open mind, a willingness to learn, and a focus on understanding instead of conquering, then I think we can build a harmonious relationship with these other beings, whether they're from distant stars or hidden dimensions.
So the key to successful contact is to evolve our consciousness, to move beyond the fear and greed that has driven so much of human history.
Exactly. It's about recognizing our interconnectedness with all life. And maybe that's the ultimate message they're trying to convey. Maybe they're not here to save us or conquer us, but to wake us up to our true potential as cosmic beings.
That's deep. You're saying contact isn't just about what they might do to us, but about what we can become.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that spark of the divine within us, the potential for growth and evolution. And all this talk about consciousness reminds me of Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious. Imagine that expanding to encompass other species, other dimensions, maybe even the consciousness of the universe itself.
Whoa, that's incredible. Like we're all plugged into this vast cosmic network, and contact just amplifies the signal.
It's a beautiful thought, maybe even a little terrifying, but it offers a new perspective on the Fermi paradox. Where is everybody? If there are billions of stars and planets out there, why haven't we made contact?
Right, that's the big question.
Well, maybe the answer isn't that they're not out there, but that we haven't been ready to see them. We've been too focused on our own little corner of the universe, too caught up in our own dramas to tune into the cosmic frequencies.
So contact is like a cosmic invitation, a signal that we've finally reached a level of consciousness where we can join the galactic conversation.
Exactly, and maybe that conversation's been going on all along, just outside our perception. Before we move on, I want to remind everyone, if you're enjoying this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got so much more to explore, so many more ideas to unpack. Now, where were we? Oh yes, the implications of contact on humanity's future.
It's been a wild ride so far, and we're just getting started. I think our viewers might need a moment to catch their breath. But what do you say we continue this discussion in part 3? Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the metaphysical impact of extraterrestrial contact.
It's been quite a journey so far.
Yeah, we've explored ontological shock, interdimensional beings, the expansion of consciousness, the future of religion.
And we've delved into how all of this connects to our understanding of the soul and humanity's place in the universe.
It's amazing how ET contact isn't just about spaceships and technology, but it's like a mirror reflecting our deepest fears, hopes, and longings.
It is a beautiful way to put it. It forces us to really grapple with those big questions that have haunted us for centuries. Who are we? Why are we here? What's our purpose?
And maybe those questions can only be answered by encountering something truly. There's something that breaks our limited human perspective and shows us those infinite possibilities that exist beyond what we can currently understand.
Perhaps the most profound gift extraterrestrials could give us isn't technology or wisdom, but humility.
Humility. Can you expand on that?
Well, think about it. For centuries, we've seen ourselves at the top of creation, the masters of our domain.
Right.
But contact with a civilization more advanced than ours, whether they come from another galaxy or a hidden dimension, would challenge that.
It would be a humbling experience for sure. Our sense of superiority, our entire worldview would be flipped.
And I think that's what we need, a healthy dose of cosmic perspective to help us overcome the arrogance and self-importance that have caused so much conflict and suffering.
So instead of fearing ETs as invaders, maybe we should see them as guides, cosmic teachers, helping us evolve towards a more harmonious way of being.
I like how you put that. It's like we're being initiated into a galactic mystery school, and while the lessons might be hard, they hold the potential for real change.
Transformative in what sense? What changes might we see?
Well, I think our values would change. Material wealth and power would become less important as we recognize our connection to all life and how fragile our planet is.
It's like we finally understand that we're all in this together, not just as nations, but as citizens of the cosmos.
Exactly. And this shift in values could lead to a more compassionate and sustainable way of life. Imagine a world where cooperation replaces competition, where we prioritize the well-being of everyone and the planet.
It sounds utopian, almost too good to be true. Can we really change given all the conflict and greed in our history?
I don't think it's naive to hope for a better future. Humans have the potential for both good and evil. Ultimately, it's our choice. Will we use the knowledge gained from contact to create a more peaceful world, or will we repeat our mistakes?
That's a sobering thought. It's like contact presents us with a choice, and that choice will decide the fate, not just of humanity, but maybe even life itself in this part of the galaxy.
It's a big responsibility, but I think we can handle it. We're the ones who dreamed of reaching for the stars, who want to understand the universe. Contact is just the next step, a cosmic invitation to grow and become citizens of the cosmos.
That's inspiring. It's not just about what they might do to us, but what we can become.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that spark of something bigger within us, the potential for growth that's in every human being.
I think we've given our viewers a lot to think about today. Any last thoughts?
Just this, when you look at the night sky, remember you're not just seeing stars, but a mirror reflecting the infinite possibilities within you.
That's beautiful. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
We have so much more to explore together.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.
Keep your minds open, your hearts connected, and your eyes on the stars.
And who knows, maybe those stars will be looking back at us soon. There are 2 videos on your screen to continue your journey. We hope to see you there.